Josie Rizal, Kaito, Arsene, Elise, Danny Phantom, and Pikachu enter the workroom, and are instructed by production to prepare to meet the other group of queens.
It's a new day in the workroom, and we're meeting the other bunch of girls. I'm a little nervous to see who else is on the cast. A lot of really strong auditions made it to the casting special, and any of them could be here.
The queens hear footsteps in the doorway, and quickly get into position as the second group of queens enter one by one. The queens cheer as each queen walks in, but suddenly, the room goes silent as Ritska enters, staring directly at Arsene.
I'm watching the rest of the queens enter the room, and that's when I see him. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
The face crack of the century.
Ritska just smiles at Arsene, and asks the other queens how they're doing as he sits down. Nobody speaks.
I had a bit of a feeling he'd be here, so I prepared myself to keep calm when I entered the room. But all the anger in my body wants me to lunge at that ugly red terror and rip his dick off. We'll get to that when we get to that.
Suddenly, the queens hear more footsteps from the doorway, and turn to see who is coming in.
What's going on? Don't tell me there's a 14th queen. Pagamane Len, I appreciate that the Philippines always has a gag, but enough is enough. Did he bring Candace on to compete or something?
Hello, my loves. I'm so glad you could finally meet each other. Is everybody getting along? Well, anyway, welcome to Cartoon Drag Race Philippines Season 2.
Len, you are such a shady bitch. Well, Ritska aside, these queens are very interesting. I recognize almost all of them actually. Everyone knows Mimi Tachikawa, I'm sure she's the bitch to beat. Flower has a reputation on the scene, I recognize her, but not in a good way. Same goes for Skull Kid, I don't think I've ever heard a positive comment about it. The only queen I don't recognize is that little campy one. Wait, is that Mickey Mouse? Wasn't he already on season 10? Okay, gag.
I wanted to appear in the workroom today, because this week's mini challenge is very special. Josie Rizal and Aventurine, please step forward.
Oh my, is it time? Have they decided to skip the rest of the competition and just crown me? It makes sense, I mean, the rest is just a filler arc. May as well give me the win already and move on to season 3.
As the winners of your premieres, each of you will line up the queens from the other group in order of strongest to weakest, in your opinion. Josie, you'll go first.
Oh, Aventurine was the winner of the first challenge in the other group? I'm a little bit surprised. After the mini challenge, I need to hear all of the tea from that second premiere. If you think about it, it is us versus them at this point. As Group 1 girls need to stick together.
Well, let's see. Let's start with Ritska in first place. And Mimi, you'll go right behind him. Do I actually think Ritska is the strongest queen on that cast? Well, no. He's a very strong queen, but that's fucking Mimi Tachikawa. I put him in front because me and him are actually friends off the show, and I'm hoping that if I compliment him a bit, he can join me and Pikachu in our alliance. Sigh, it's a shame I have to beat all of these queens I like so much to win the crown at the end. Oh well, I'm prepared to stomp them into the dirt, haha. Next up, let's go with Meringue, and then Flower.
Oh wow, Josie put me so close to the top. I'm happy the other queens see me as strong competition here. Me and Flower are allies, but she seems a little bit upset by being put behind me. I hope she isn't too mad.
Aventurine, you definitely look amazing. I'll put you next for sure.
I don't think I should be this low, but I mean, it hardly matters what the other girls think. I won last week's challenge. What difference does it make what exactly the girls who haven't seen me in action yet think of me?
So that just leaves 2. I'll put Skull Kid next, and, what was that one's name? Oh, Oswald. Oswald, you'll be in last.
Oh my god, it just does not end. Not only was my group so harsh to me, but now the winner from the other group thinks I'm the weakest queen here. I'm so frustrated, but I won't let it get to me, I just have to keep pressing on. This isn't the first time in my career I've been underestimated. I'll use it to my advantage.
Very interesting. Next up, Aventurine, order the queens from Group 1 in order of strongest to weakest.
Well, to start, Josie, you'll be in first. You clearly got here for a reason, because this is next level drag.
Well, I almost feel bad ranking him so low now. I mean, he must have amazing taste if he's putting me in first. Philippines, I'd like to formally apologize. I don't want this controversy to follow me to the finale, after all.
Elise, you'll be next. And after you is Kaito.
Honestly, I want to be bitter about only being in third, but I can't. Josie and Elise are some of the strongest queens in this room. I think we could go in any order. I fear we'll be the top 3 of the season as well.
Arsene, I'll put you next. If you give me your number, I'll boost you up one. Oh, I can't do that? Well, alright. That just leaves Pikachu and Danny, and I'll put them in that order. Look, Danny's drag just doesn't speak to me. And Pikachu really should be higher, but I can tell he's nervous. I'm hoping something happened last week, and that this contributes to cracking him. Because that's a threat that's only gonna get more dangerous over time.
Last? Bitch, please. I'm not fazed by the opinion of some pretty boy runway model. At least I got the votes to be here. We can't all say that. Now can we?
Interesting. Very interesting. Ritska, Oswald, Josie Rizal, and Danny Phantom. You were ranked at the tops and bottoms of the cast. Now, whether you agree or disagree isn't very relevant. But you'll each be the team leaders for this week's acting challenge.
Dear God. Ritska and Danny are team captains? It's giving Kia 1 and Kia 2. And that little one, I'm really not sure about. Josie though, I think I'd like to be on her team. She seems charismatic and very naturally funny, and that lends itself well to a challenge like this.
The members of each team have been randomly chosen. Ritska, your teammates are Flower and Meringue.
I'm still not impressed by Ritska, but I'm at least glad I was paired with my pinkberry sister, Meringue. I would have preferred Mimi, but we don't always get what we want.
Danny, your teammates are Arsene and Aventurine.
Motherfucker, I'm stuck with the brick as my leader? Seriously? Arsene though, I don't mind being on a team with him. He's a very strong queen, and he won the Rusical last season, which is a kind of acting challenge. Maybe we do have a shot in hell.
Josie, your teammates are Elise and Kaito. The rest of you are on Oswald's team, making a team of 4.
Ooh, yay, I get to be on a team with my friends. We're gonna nail this challenge, just watch.
This team seems strong. I think we'll be a force in this challenge. But I'm a little concerned about being the only team of 4. It seems like our scene will have to be more complicated, and we'll also have to work better as a group than the others and get along. I'm not worried for myself. I'll rise to the challenge pretty easily after all. But I fear the others may have more trouble.
Oswald's team? Me and him were ranked as the bottom 2 of our premiere. But while mine was bullshit, I do think he deserved it. The mug speaks for itself.
You'll each act out an iconic Untucked scene from a cartoon drag race franchise, really camping it up. Team Oswald, you'll be doing the AARP brawl between Duchess and Fairy Godmother, from Cartoon Drag Race Season 7.
Oh, I love this one. Though, hearing about these seasons is reminding me about my rejected auditions for them, haha. I'm looking forward to this challenge, even if Skull Kid keeps giving me the stink eye the whole time.
Team Danny, you get to do Felicie Milliner versus Hollywood from France 2. And finally, Team Josie, you have Elisa versus the Alolan Acolytes, from our very own first season.
Oh, that moment was iconic. Primarina is my good Judy. We've met several times and had tea. If there's one thing she can do, it's be secret shady. She'll cut you like a razor blade, and by the time you realize you've bled out, it's too late. I do worry about if any of those girls could execute a character like her, because I don't think that's their nature, but we'll see. Good luck, sisters.
Tonight on the runway, category is UK Hun, walk a look inspired by the United Kingdom. And in my runway entrance this week, I'll walk together with our brand new permanent judge. Now, good luck, and don't fuck it up.
Once Kagamine Len leaves the workroom, the queens are given scripts for their scenes and break into groups. Team Josie gather at a table and begin reading the lines to themselves, before Josie slams her paper down, stands up tall, and proudly declares she will play Elisa, because it takes a true Boom Boom doll to capture her essence. The others pause and stare at her for a moment, before bursting into laughter.
I have no idea what a Boom Boom doll is, but Aisha Erotica made a song about being one. I'm sure that I am a stunning Filipina Boom Boom doll. Yes, of course.
Girl, what the hell is a Boom Boom doll? Actually, I don't care. I am 100% here for it, and despite not knowing what the fuck it is, I officially want to be one. Josie is wild, and I'm obsessed with it. There's never a dull moment with this girl.
Kaito jokingly says nobody is fighting her on that, adding that he would like to play Primarina. Elise cheers, saying it worked out perfectly because she wants to play Lurantis. Kaito nods, saying he figured given her and Camilla being so close. Elise blinks, before saying that it was just because she finds Lurantis funny. Kaito pauses, and just says oh.
Kaito, I love you, but my run isn't fully defined by Camilla. I'm not here to be in my sister's shadow. I'm starting to second guess choosing Lorantis though. Her visual comedy with her facial expressions and reactions seems hard to pull off. Maybe I should switch roles? No, I shouldn't psych myself out. Lorantis is the right choice.
Awkwardness aside, I'm obsessed with Primarina. Just like me, she's a shady bitch with a congenial attitude. I don't like to get dirty, but I can when I have to, and even when I do I'm gonna be classy. Also, that bitch paints her mug down, and I'm excited to try and mimic it. The way our team is heading, I think I could be at least in the top once again.
Team Danny are reading over the scripts and debating over who gets what role, with Danny and Arsène loudly arguing about who will play Felicie Milliner in the scene. Arsène says that he has to play Miss Clavel because Danny can't sell sex and Arsène can't look busted, so why would they have the busted queen play the sex joke queen and the sexy queen play the busted queen? Danny hits his hand on the table and says for the last time, he isn't a busted queen and he isn't going to play Felicie Milliner, arguing that Arsène is a dancer and it makes more sense. Arsène asks what dance has to do with anything, because she doesn't dance in the scene. Aventurine just holds his head in his hands.
Oh, for fuck's sake, this is not gonna work. We don't have time for this. Let's face it, neither of those bitches are funny. I mean, Arsène has shown a bit of talent, but he still did mediocre or poorly in most of the comedy and acting on his season. And Danny, woof, we haven't seen him do comedy yet, but let's face it, if he has this little charisma he isn't going to succeed. While these bitches bicker, I just have to read my lines as Hollywood. I have a comically large breastplate and cunty blonde wig for just this occasion. Let's just pray to Linda Evangelista that this challenge is judged individually.
Arsène says that he is playing Miss Clavel and that's final, and Aventurine finally stands up and shouts at the top of his lungs to just flip a fucking coin. The rest of the queens in the workroom stare.
Oh, girl, that team is like a dysfunctional household. And I fear that if things don't shape up it's gonna become a domestic situation. Aventurine is pretty cool and calm most of the time, I'd imagine it takes a lot to crack him like that. This is not good for those three.
Danny says fine, and says that if it's heads he gets to play Miss Clavel. Aventurine flips the coin, and it lands on tails, causing Arsène to cheer. Danny just rolls his eyes, and silently sits down to read his lines as Felicie.
Ain't this some bullshit? I'm sorry, but if we land in the bottom, it's Arsène's fault for this stupid sabotage. I'm gonna have to crack down on these two. I'm the team leader, and if I have to run a boot camp, I will.
Team Oswald have gathered at a station to assign roles and practice their lines. Oswald, smiling, asks if the group is alright with him choosing his role first since he is the leader. Skull Kid seems a little annoyed, but they all nod, and Oswald says he wants to play Fairy Godmother.
Oswald is old, withered, bitter, and wrinkled, so of course he had to play Fairy Godmother. Look, someone has to read him for his mug, because the judges didn't. If this season doesn't win an Emmy it's because of Oswald's paint, and if we don't win this challenge it's because of Oswald's bad drag.
Oswald then asks who each of the others wants to play. Skull Kid immediately cuts off the others, and says he'd like to play Duchess. Mimi blinks, having been cut off by him, and her face drops into an annoyed expression as she says she thinks that's the perfect choice for him.
I'm not living for Skull Kid right now. I don't want to make an enemy of him, because frankly, he gives me the heebie-jeebies. But he seems very abrasive. This is the kind of queen that wouldn't last in pageants. The type of queen whose disrespect will eventually lead to an elimination. And the type of queen who lacks class and tact. So I think Duchess is perfect for him. If anything, they're the Philippines' new power couple.
Oswald nods, mouthing an apology to Mimi for Skull Kid's interruption, and asking what role she would like. Mimi replies that she wants to play Ursula, and Pikachu gasps, saying he wanted that role. Mimi looks to him apologetically, and Oswald asks why don't they just audition for it. Pikachu's face lights up, and both of them read lines from the script as their characters. Skull Kid and Oswald think for a moment, and both say that the role should go to Mimi. Pikachu looks devastated, and then gets visibly frustrated, saying that after last week he doesn't want to have the smallest role in the scene. Aventurine rolls his eyes from the other station, still holding his head in his hands.
Pikachu wants to be the baby at the baptism, the bride at the wedding, and the body at the funeral. And he only looks like one of the three. I'll let you guess which one. I swear, he's needier than Grinder Bottoms, and I about can't take it. It seems like my plan to crack him is making precious progress, though.
I can't play such a tiny role in this challenge, I'm being set up to fail. Look, I don't want to seem like a drama queen, or like all I do is whine. I'm just under a lot of pressure right now, and I'm frustrated. Mimi was in the top 2 last week, Oswald placed high. They've gotten to shine, I still have something to prove. I'm upset that I have to play a role that barely shows up, and relies on physical comedy, which I'm not good at. I really want to prove that I'm not a Barbie or a Hello Kitty. But I'm not gonna moan and complain anymore, that's childish and I realize that. I'm gonna rise to the fucking challenge.
Ritska gathers his teammates, and says that he will assign the roles as he sees fit, giving himself Icy, giving Flower Betty Cooper, and giving Meringue Brandy Harrington. Meringue looks hesitant, but doesn't say anything. Flower immediately speaks up, and says that she doesn't think any of those are correct. Ritska looks annoyed at first, but thinks for a second, and asks why she thinks that, tilting his head. Flower's expression slightly softens, and she pauses for a moment, before saying that it would make more sense for Meringue to be Betty because she can take better advantage of a passive role than Flower, but that being Brandy doesn't fit Flower as well as being Icy would, because she's a huge fan of Icy and can channel her well. Ritska nods, before saying that while he agrees with Meringue being Betty, he does think he would do better than Flower at being Icy. Flower scowls and opens her mouth to say something, but before she can, Ritska adds that he is willing to try her idea regardless if she is confident in it. Flower pauses once again, and smiles slightly, before realizing her expression and going back to her signature scowl, silently reading her new lines.
Do I agree with her? Not fully. I think it's a bit of a mess. But look at what happened when I went with the flow. I'm extremely abrasive by nature, and so is Flower. It's like rubbing 2 pieces of coarse grid sandpaper together, nothing's gonna move in any real way. And she had a good point about Meringue, so I'm willing to trust that she might be more of an expert in this setting than me. The hard part is gonna be learning a new role, since I had been so set on Icy. I probably won't be perfect, but I'll be good. You know, the more I look at the script, the more I think Flower was right about all of this. Maybe she's more insightful than she seems?
Hello my loves, and welcome to Cartoon Drag Race Philippines Season 2. I am one of your beloved hosts, Kagamane Len, and standing next to me is our brand new permanent judge, my favorite drag queen, Candace Flynn. Welcome back darling, I'm so happy to have you in the family.
Thank you, Kagamane Len. After my time as a judge last season, and with the Hex Girls and Ashley Tisdale Experience tour ending, I was thrilled to get your invite to become a permanent judge here. And I'm honored to walk the runway with you tonight.
I'm happy to hear it. And let's not forget the other half of our sickening judging duo, it's Kagamane Rin. How do you feel about all of this?
I love Candace, truly, but with her having been here the past 2 weeks I almost hoped my good sister Lola had become the permanent judge.
Oh God, please no.
Moving on, in this week's Maxi Challenge, we tasked our queens with acting out iconic cartoon drag race Untucked fights in teens. And tonight on the runway, category is UK Hun? Who will be the first to go home in this competition? Let's find out.
Skull Kid, Mimi Tachikawa, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and Kaito slayed the challenge.
I really brought it with my role as fairy godmother. Me and Skull Kid may not get along, but we sure can give a campy fistfight. But I fear I may have to send him a friendly bill for the wig he damaged in the altercation. Well, I suppose not, since I didn't pay for it. Actually, Mickey bought it for me as a gift after our first gig together. The memories are getting to me already.
Is it bad that I almost enjoy Oswald's company? Keyword, almost. He's still busted, but as long as I don't look at him, I think I could stand to interact further. Well, regardless, we worked well together this week. And Mimi ate her roll-up as well. She seems extremely versatile, which we definitely expected with that reputation.
Aventurine and Josie Rizal were great in the challenge.
Dear God, what a shit show. I did great, that's what matters. But God, what if we're judged in teams? Danny was screaming at the top of his lungs the whole time, verbally attacking me and Arsene, and I can tell it messed with both of their performances. At one point, I even had to leave the set for a few minutes to remain calm, because I really can't let these girls see me crack like I did in the workroom, haha. I had a nice conversation with Ritska in the downtime that helped to calm me down, but it seemed to fluster him in his own performance. Poor guy was bright red. Maybe it'll get him eliminated if I'm lucky. What? Too cold. He's a strong queen, and I need him gone. Doesn't matter if he's my workroom trade, I'm here to win.
Pikachu, Ritsuka Uenoyama, and Flower were good in the challenge.
I'm not satisfied with my performance. I definitely could have pushed harder. I did well in a vacuum, but the rest of my team was so strong that I still faded in the background despite how hard I tried. The good news is, I'm definitely not in the bottom, even if we judge individually. I'll have to think on how I can stand out more.
I was a little distracted in my performance. There were slip-ups here and there, but I'm glad I went with Flower's plan. These characters fit us much better, and since we both struggled more than expected, that ended up being a lifesaver. Meringue seemed terrified though. I think in the rush she may have forgotten some of her lines. I hope she doesn't ruin it for us.
Elise, Meringue, and Arsene were bad in the challenge.
Well, not my best moment. Lurantis ended up being a tough nut to crack for little Elise, and I got very heavily outshined by my sisters this week. I really hope I'm safe. I worked really hard on my runway this week, designing it myself with help from my nephew, Forrest. So if I really did do bad enough to be in the bottom, maybe I won't have to lip sync?
I'm gonna kill that little twink. This isn't how I normally act, but I'm just so fucking angry right now. You know what? I hope I'm in the bottom this week. I really fucking hope I am. That way I can push Danny's fucking wig back in the lip sync and send him back to the Black Lagoon.
Danny Phantom flopped the challenge.
My team completely failed me. I had to constantly reprimand them in rehearsals, they just couldn't get it right. And all that distraction completely threw off my performance. The unprofessionalism of my so-called sisters, I just cannot. I should probably leave this confessional booth. I'm running out of time to prepare my runway.
Aventurine, Mimi Tachikawa, Skull Kid, Elise, and Ritsuka Uenoyama slayed the runway.
I'm in a cunty blouse and plaid skirt, holding a beautiful hot pink boa, serving you Vivienne Westwood. But Aventurine, you ask, isn't that so pedestrian? You're so obsessed with me. Anyway, if you look down, you'll see the glorified stilt of a heel I'm walking this runway on. My look tonight is inspired by the famous 1993 Vivienne Westwood fashion show starring Naomi Campbell in massive 12-inch platform heels. And like Naomi herself, as I reach the midpoint of the runway, I trip. But mama, I don't fall. I trip right into my planned stunt, somersaulting to the front of the stage with the cuntiest pose you've ever seen, and I get up and continue to serve. Children, this is how you reference.
It's just too easy. I'm walking this runway in bright neutrals, sharp lines, in a tailored open suit. This is classic 60s UK fashion. Well, not classic to me, I'm not that old. Classic to Oswald, I suppose. My look this week is inspired by the Beatles. And just when you think I'm done, I rip off that short choppy wig, tear off the suit, and underneath I'm in the female mod look. Bright mini skirt, belted waist, and one of my favorite ginger wigs. It's over for you all.
Josie Rizal, Pikachu, Arsene, Flower, and Meringue were great on the runway.
I may not have performed as well as I wanted to in the challenge, but this runway is still mine, period. I'm giving you David Bowie, gender fuck realness, stone head to toe, and over-accessorized in just the right way. Thank you to Meringue for making some accessories in the workroom so quickly, they really upgraded this look. Kagame Rin's eyes lit up when I walked the stage, and that felt correct. They should all be amazed with me.
Kaito and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit were good on the runway. Danny Phantom was bad on the runway.
Unfinished. Again. I just didn't have time. My mug isn't able to be done in under 2 hours. It just isn't. I wanted to do a cuntier take on stereotypical British street fashion, but my entire look is a mess because I just didn't have the time. It's alright, the judges will see how I led my team, and I won't be in the bottom.
My queens, I have made some decisions. Team Josie and Team Ritska, you are all safe, you may leave the stage.
Safe again. I can't be mad. Being safe means I have the opportunity to turn the heat up next week. I have to focus. Why do I keep getting distracted like this?
That means that Team Oswald and Team Danny, you make up the tops and bottoms of the week. But I've decided that tonight, in lieu of our panel giving critiques, you all will critique each other. Who should go home tonight, and why? Skull Kid, you'll go first.
Oh, trust and believe, I have lots to say. Not to be a bitch, but to be a bitch, Danny Phantom should go home tonight. We were all in the room when everyone did their scenes, and we got to spectate how much of a train wreck that other team was under Danny's leadership. He acted like a complete monster. I'm not a nice person, but I know that in a team setting, you sort your shit out, and you all work together. And because of that, I'm in the top tonight, and look where he is. And for someone who constantly talks about his mug, and being the diva of Instagram, why don't we ask him to move that dry wig out of his face? Because it isn't hiding anything. For the second time, it's unfinished and it's ugly. Clock, bitch.
Oh, dear God. He took his anger out with that one. That was vile. Skull Kid, you are the winner of the reading challenge, haha.
Wow, okay. Oswald, you go next.
In most cases, I'd hesitate to throw anybody under the bus. But honestly, Danny deserves it. The winner of this competition should be the future of Pinoy drag. Not only does he lack the polish and skill, but he clearly lacks the class of a true winner. He deserves to be eliminated tonight.
Mimi, who would you send home?
I would also have to say Danny Phantom. Never in my long career have I met someone so baselessly confident. I mean, seriously, look at this runway. Even if we pretend that he didn't flop a challenge, even if we pretend he wasn't disgusting to both the rest of us and his own team, this is awful. I know the saying is 3 strikes and you're out, but honey, this isn't baseball. It's one of the biggest platforms in the world for drag, and 2 strikes is enough. He has proven he doesn't deserve to be on this stage.
Pikachu, you're up next.
I mean, do we really need the speech? It's Danny. He's like if the mutant love child of Serena Cha-Cha and Mimi I'm First broke into an Ulta in Metro Manila. Kaito is one of the kindest people I've ever met, and Danny has managed to have a long-term beef with him just by being such a douchebag that even he couldn't put up with it. Somebody chop him already.
Philippines, are you hearing all of this? More tea was spilled on the stage tonight than at the Boston Harbor in 1773. I'm running out of popcorn, and there will be a diva meltdown if I don't have anything to eat as I watch this scene. Go bitches, rip him to shreds.
Arsene, who should go home tonight and why?
I'd love to be petty and say that the person who I want to go home isn't on the stage tonight. But honestly, yes the fuck he is. There's a safe competitor I can't stand, but even he deserves to stay over Danny. I do think that he's the reason our team is clearly in the bottom tonight. Not one of us could put up with him enough to focus on the performance. I hope I'm not in the bottom 2 tonight, but bitch, if I am, I will be thrilled to send his ass packing.
Aventurine, how about you?
Danny Phantom, no questions asked. Frankly, I shouldn't be in this position tonight, and I'd argue neither should Arsene, even though he didn't do well either. But I understand why we are. A team challenge is about the team, and when you have someone like Danny dragging you down, none of us were going to be safe. At this point, I'm not even mad, because it means he's as good as gone.
Every bitch here said Danny's name. Has this ever happened before? But it serves him right. You know you fucked up when both someone as nice as Oswald and as cruel as Skull Kid say you're a piece of shit. This is actually insane.
I see. And finally, Danny Phantom.
I'm not going to stand on this stage and not say how the fuck I feel tonight. Because these other queens did not do shit tonight, and you lived for them like it was the best thing you had ever seen. I do not deserve to be in the bottom right now. I am not responsible for the flopping of my teammates. So I nominate myself, because I don't want to be on a season with such tasteless, useless judges. Each and every one of you bitches on that panel are unqualified and untalented, and you clearly don't know true skill in drag when you see it.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, girl. He fucked up now. It's about to go down. Kagomine Rin, hit him. Punch his left hit. Disqualify him. Put your heel on his neck. Lip sync assassinate him. Whatever you have to do. Destroy that annoying bitch.
Danny, do not ever forget where you are. You are a guest, you are a competitor, and you cannot disrespect us and your fellow competitors like this. This is our motherfucking house, not yours. I can see the talent you have, but you've yet to show it. We have been nothing but respectful and constructive to you, and yet here you are, trying to blame us for your faults. Well, I'm sick of gentle parenting. I'm gonna treat you like any other bratty child, and give you a verbal spanking. Be an adult and take responsibility. Your position tonight is your fault, and you deserve it. You should be ashamed. Let me make this clear, and I'm sure the other judges agree with me. Danny Phantom, your wish has been granted, bitch. You are unequivocally up for elimination tonight, and you will lip sync for your life. Now step to the back of the stage and wait for the rest of the judging. You will not say another word.
Oh, Miss Rin, you better fucking work. I think Lola's reading skills rubbed off on her, because she chewed him up and spat him out. God, that was so satisfying. The look on Danny's face right now could turn a bitch to stone, and I am living. Eat your vitamins and say your prayers, Danny, because it isn't looking good.
Maybe I went a little too far this time. I'll be lip-syncing tonight, but it's fine. I'm ready for it, and whoever I'm up against will be going home. It is not my time to go yet.
Ahem, with that all being said, it's time to let you know your placements. Team Oswald, you all blew us away tonight in one way or another. Your AARP brawl scene was better than nursing home pudding. You are all the winners of this week's challenge. Skull Kid and Oswald, I want to give you special recognition for your performances. Keep it up, you two, this is what you are here for.
Yes, my first win already. Things are going so well for me. I knew I could do this, I just knew it. It was hard getting rejected time after time, but now that I'm here to slay. You'll see me here again soon, trust and believe.
Well, when it's right, and this is right. The special recognition from the judges after my performance last week is the cherry on top. And the smaller cherry on top of that cherry is how mad the other team's bitches will be that I gotta win, because all it does is show I'm here to stay.
Now, as established, Danny Phantom will be up for elimination tonight, and one of the two of you will join him. Aventurine, please step forward.
This placement is such bullshit. I was amazing in the challenge and on the runway, and I'm at risk of being in the bottom? Kagamine Len, make the right choice here, or I will not give you my number after filming.
Aventurine, you were absolutely fantastic tonight, and you do not deserve to be in this low position. If anything, you should be in the top. A team is only as strong as its weakest members, but rest assured, your efforts to overcome that have been noticed. You will not lip sync tonight, you may leave the stage. Arsene, I'm sorry my love, but you are up for elimination.
Like I said before, I can't even be mad. Who better than I to send this bitch home? I mean, it's not like I have to worry about going home here anyway. You all saw me last season. You think the bitch that looks like Elphaba's tampon will send me packing? Doubtful. And once he's gone, my rage will subside, and we'll be back to good old classic Arsene.
Prior to tonight, I asked you to prepare a lip sync performance to Pure Honey by Beyoncé.
The time has come for you to lip sync for your life. Good luck, and don't fuck it up.
My time here is not yet at an end. Arsene is a strong performer, but so am I. And mama, this isn't all stars. I don't have pity for a Nepo queen getting a second chance after he got a boo-boo. Get to packing.
Arsene had a great lip sync. Danny Phantom had a bad lip sync.
My queens, I have made my decision. Arsene, Shantae, you stay. You may leave the stage. Danny Phantom, I hope that this has been a learning experience for you, and that you will go on to have a career of talent and class. Now, sashay, away.
Best day ever.
You may think I've been slayed, but girl, you can't kill a ghost. This isn't the last of Danny Phantom, just you wait.
This is Untucked.
The queens enter Untucked, starting with Kaito, who is loudly cheering about Danny's elimination. Several other queens join him in the cheering.
Danny has been eliminated, and the workroom has been cleansed of all but the smell he left behind. Things are gonna be so nice with him gone, haha.
As the queens sit down, everyone congratulates Team Oswald for winning the challenge. They thank them, with Mimi adding that she's shocked it took this long for her to score her first win. The other queens blink.
Girl, what do you mean took this long? It's the second episode you've been in, and you were top 2 in the first one. I'm gagged by the audacity. But Mimi slayed tonight, just like last week. I'm really starting to see why queens are scared of her. But I'm not, she's a total sweetheart, and I'm happy to see her succeed.
Flower commends Skull Kid for his reads of Danny on the runway. Skull Kid smiles, and says that he'd do it to anybody who looked like that and had the nerve to still act some type of way. Pikachu congratulates Arsene on winning the lip sync, and Kaito says he owes him for sending that rat home. The queens laugh, and Arsene says he can pay that debt in the hotel room. Ritska scowls.
Oop, girl, I think it's high time for drama. I'm not the kind to stir the pot, but well, maybe I'm holding a spoon, and maybe I definitely lied. I'm very much the kind to stir the pot.
Pikachu looks at Ritska and says that now that the challenge is over, it's time for the Arsene and Ritska drama to pan out. The other girls gasp, and Arsene just smirks to himself and asks what there is to talk about. Ritska says that it's probably Arsene's home-wrecking tendencies, and adds that he seems to already have his pocket twink picked out this season, glancing at Kaito. Kaito looks embarrassed.
That made me very uncomfortable. I think Arsene is handsome, and dreamy, and funny, and so sweet, and... Wait, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna swing with Arsene. If something happens it'll happen naturally. Keep me out of your drama, because that wasn't cute to me. And I'd strongly argue it isn't Arsene's fault that your boyfriend cheated on you.
Arsene says he didn't home-wreck anybody, and that Sato hit on him. Ritska said of course Sato hit on him, when he was constantly being flirty around him. Arsene just rolls his eyes, and asks why Ritska doesn't give this energy in the challenges, before saying he knows exactly why, adding that he's clearly distracted by runway model Dick, and pointing to Aventurine. Josie's jaw drops, and she screams that now it's a party.
Oh damn, he really clocked that, didn't he? This is why the fuck I came to this show. Oh, god damn it, I'm out of popcorn. Someone's getting fired.
Ritska says that he has no idea what Arsene is talking about, and says that Arsene doesn't need to worry about his challenge performances, because he's way above Arsene's level. Arsene scoffs, saying that he must not have seen season 1, and adding that he mops just about everyone in this room, especially someone as basic as Ritska. Ritska says not this trip, seeing as he was just lip-syncing for his life. Josie screams again, and Skull Kid starts laughing uncontrollably in the background.
Holy shit, dude, Ritska is clearing him. I couldn't care less about who kissed who cheated on who, whatever. This isn't high school. But I will always appreciate a good fight, and whether you think he's right or wrong, Ritska is reading a bitch.
Season 1 this, season 1 that. Alright bitch, well this is season 2. And it's clear you've stepped your pussy down. And y'all saw that lip sync. It was messy. The voguing was cunt, nobody is claiming he can't perform. It's like Kagame Len said, he was born to do drag, and I can't take that away from him. But Arsene's outfit was shedding off of him like a molting bird. That's why his fake gold chain from Shein is still on the floor of that runway, and you can tell because the green stain it put on his skin is staring into my soul.
Arsene stands up, and says that Ritska seems to think he's hot shit because he dodged the bottom this week, but that everyone in this room can tell that he's a washed-up cuckold, and that's why his boyfriend prefers Arsene's legs to Ritska's lard. Ritska immediately cracks, standing up and starting to lunge at Arsene. Aventurine grabs Ritska to hold him back, with Kaito doing the same to Arsene, shouting that that's enough. Ritska shouts to get off of him, lightly pushing Aventurine away and storming out of Untucked. Arsene shouts as he leaves that Ritska better remember the only reason he was cast was for this fight, and that now that it's happened, he'll be the next to go. He then storms out in the opposite direction, leaving the rest of the queens in stunned silence.